Welcome back, everybody. Now, Cameroonian dancehall and R&B singer Jennifer Ewube is gearing up to make a name for herself in Mzansi. She recently got signed to Open Mic Productions, which is home to some of South Africa's biggest artists, including Master KG, Makhadzi, Paige, and many others. Full of spunk, energy, and inspiring lyrics, her Amapiano-meets-dancehall sound will earn her a crowd of new fans across the globe. She joins us now this morning in studio to share more on her music and stay in South Africa. Jennifer, very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
How's it going?
It's going great. It's going really well.
Good to have you on the show this morning. First of all, just take us through who Jennifer is, where you come from, and how you started your musical career.
Oh, Jennifer is just like every regular girl with a dream. I come from Cameroon. That's where I was born. That's where I've lived all my life. I started music as a way to, you know, have a little bit of a social life, having been the bookie, my mother being a principal and everything. So doing music became just this thing that I did on the side. And over time, I fell in love with it. And then, though I have a degree in economics, I was like, okay, this is something I see myself doing. And then when I was done with my degree and presented it to my mother, I went ahead.
Because that's what she wanted after all.
Yes.
That's a good one. And then, are you doing music full-time now?
Yes, right now I'm doing music full-time. When I graduated, I was like, okay, I've never seen myself maybe doing a job. I did an internship. I studied economics. Internships were optional. But I said, I want to get the feel of the, you know, the environment, work. And then I got in there and I could not last.
Because music is your first love.
So I said.
So what kind of music do you typically create?
Typically, man, I dilly-dally a lot, but I've created an identity around dancehall music. R&B dancehall, and I try to bring that into everything I do. But I do write other songs. But
at what point then did you decide to venture into this genre? Because you've started music a long time ago. And did you, at that point in time when you decided to have an interest in music, decide on what genre that you'll be venturing into?
I decided I was such, the Rihannas and the Beyoncés had a big influence on me. So I thought that was what I was going to sing. And then I go into the studio and the first beat they gave me was dancehall. And I was like, okay, this is different at least, and it gives me a different kind of look. Now, if I go and start singing Beyonce and Rihanna, everybody's going to say, oh my God, she's Beyonce. Or she's trying to be, nobody can be Beyonce. So, so dancehall was the first beat that was given to me, and it was the first type of music I did. It made me stand out, and I said, okay, music really chose me, really. Sure.
That's what counts. You know, you need to stand out from the crowd. You need to be different and unique from the rest. So why did you decide to sign up with a South African record label?
First off, the Cameroonian music industry is not as big. We went through the transition between, you know, the traditional type music to the urban was not so smooth. So, so it made it a little bit slow, but there's really talented people over there. And we, and I and some other friends are like the pioneers of the urban Cameroonian sound. So it's been us who were, you know, trying our best. And so when I got the opportunity to do music out of Cameroon, I saw an opportunity to also learn. And I saw an opportunity to come off from a bigger platform. That way representing my country from another perspective.
So you currently sing in French and in English, right?
Yes.
So will that be changing to accommodate a much wider fan base?
It may not change. Before doing economics, as I said, my mother, she's not a bully. My mother wanted me to do the sciences, but I wanted to do the arts. I wanted to be a translator. So we came into some sort of an agreement, and I fell in social sciences and economics. So I always wanted to study languages, and so I don't mind singing in another language. Because even in Cameroon, I'm from the Anglophone, the English-speaking side, and I had to bring French into my music so that the French, which is the majority, could relate to my music. So now I'm in South Africa. We've already done a couple of songs where somebody taught me some Zulu lines, you know.
Tell me, Jennifer, how would you be, you know, mixing dancehall with Amapiano? I'm really quite curious to know.
Oh, dancehall is such an international sound that people do not realize how much it blends into a lot of music. Dancehall blends into R&B, dancehall blends into hip-hop, dancehall blends into a lot of things.
So it is a flexible genre?
Yeah, it really is.
Okay.
And that's why, for example, them DJ Khaleds can collaborate with like Jamaican artists on their albums, because they bring in the dancehall and the reggae into the hip-hop.
Into the hip-hop
So
scene.
it's the same thing as dancehall coming into Amapiano. You just have to know from what angle, you know? Yeah.
Okay. That's a good approach, though. I like it.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your singles, VIP and Testimony. Yeah. What inspired it?
Well, VIP is my first Amapiano song. I got into the studio and I said, yo, they gave me an Amapiano beat, and I listened to it. I'd done one before, but it was very traditional Amapiano. There was no dancehall in it. But this one gave me a space to be able to play with it. Okay. Yes, as a dancehall artist. And I just did a freestyle, left the studio and forgot about the song. Then a few months later, the producer calls me and is like, do you remember this? And I listened to it, I was like, oh, that's hot. That is hot. And so I finished the single, I think, the next day. And then boom, we had some connects. I was like, oh, the best way to give this song the best platform. I called a friend who knows people in South Africa, and then he was like, yeah, I'm gonna send them the song. Then they heard it, they were like, this is good. The one. Yeah.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah. And initially I came to do just a collaboration, and then they were like, but what if we just work together?
So what's the thought process then in deciding on Amapiano, for instance? Is it because Amapiano is the next big thing? Well, it is the big thing currently, or you simply decided on a genre that would add a bit of flavor to your music and appeal to a much wider fan base?
It is because it is a big thing. Okay. Yes, as an artist, yes, you should run with the trends, but it's important. You should curate your sound. But now and then, if you want to get into a trend, the difficult thing is you can't just leave what you do and then just jump into this. But if you take your sound and try to include it like I did from dancehall into Amapiano, I have an opportunity to come in and then just look like I'm part of the trend for a bit, and then still go back and do dancehall music, because it won't be so much of a disconnect. Got you. Yeah. So as an artist, I really try to do that so that it's not like, oh, I'm jumping from trend to trend. That's why I like to bring dancehall into a lot of sounds. Okay, Jennifer, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us. And for some of those viewers out there who would really love to hear this sound, how do they connect with you, and how do they purchase music? Please follow me on Instagram. It's Ewube, Ewube. Yeah, they're calling me Jennifer, but my artist name is Ewube, Ewube. Just type Ewube on any platform. I think I'm the only one with the name. Okay. Ewube, great chatting to you. Hey, all the best. You. Good stuff. Cameroonian dancehall queen Jennifer Ewube signs with the South African label Open Mic Productions.